Hello and a very warm welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a topic that's deeply personal, widely experienced, but honestly far too often shrouded in silence. We're looking at the science and management of urinary incontinence. My goal today is to approach this sensitive subject with the utmost compassion, alongside absolute scientific clarity. So, whether you're seeking to understand this for yourself, for a loved one, or for your own medical learning, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get started. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the basics of bladder control, 5 types of incontinence, the biology behind the leak, diagnosis and clinical red flags, treatment and management strategies. Right off the bat, look at this quote. A symptom, not a disease. Very common and often treatable. We really need to shatter the embarrassment and the immense stigma around the involuntary leakage of urine. It is so crucial to understand that absolutely anyone, children, young adults, new mothers, the elderly, can be affected by this. It's a biological reality, definitely not a personal failing. So, what is it exactly? To be precise, urinary incontinence is the involuntary leakage of urine, meaning a person just cannot completely control when urine exits the body. Fun fact for you, a healthy bladder can actually hold up to 2 cups of urine. That's roughly the size of a standard water bottle. But here's the absolute key takeaway. Incontinence is a systemic symptom. It happens because of a failure somewhere along the communication line, whether that's in the bladder itself, the urethra, the pelvic floor muscles, the nerve pathways, or even the brain. Section 1. The basics of bladder control. Our body actually possesses this beautifully structured assembly line. It starts up top with the kidneys producing urine. This fluid then travels down the ureters to safely rest in the urinary bladder, which is essentially a storage balloon. Finally, the urethra carries the urine out of the body. But it isn't just basic plumbing, it's a highly intelligent network. As the bladder fills up, nerves send urgent signals straight up to the brain. The brain then decides, okay, is the time and place socially appropriate? Until that exact moment, it commands the pelvic floor muscles and urethral sphincters to hold tight. But what happens when this delicate system actually fails? Well, the bladder might suddenly contract prematurely, or maybe it becomes vastly overfilled. Sometimes that critical nerve control